Have you ever noticed a stranger insults you and eventually you move on? But one critical comment from family, that stays in your head for years, even when you pretend it doesn't. A parent saying, "You're too sensitive." A sibling joking, "You'll never change." A relative comparing you to someone else. Those words replay in your mind long after the moment ends. Why? Because family voices are usually the first voices we ever learn from. Before we understood ourselves, they helped shape how we saw ourselves. So when criticism comes from family, the brain doesn't process it like random opinion. It processes it like truth, especially during childhood. Because as children, we depend on family emotionally. Their approval feels like safety, their rejection feels dangerous. That's why family criticism can feel so much deeper than criticism from other people. And over time, those repeated comments can quietly become your inner voice. You make one mistake and suddenly hear, "You're irresponsible." You express emotion and hear, "You're too dramatic." You try something new and hear, "You'll probably fail." Eventually, the criticism continues even when the people aren't there anymore. Because the brain learns through repetition. The more often you hear something, the more familiar it becomes. And the brain often mistakes familiarity for truth. But here's something important. Just because someone said something repeatedly doesn't make it accurate. Sometimes criticism says more about the other person's fears, stress, pain, or emotional limitations than it says about you. People often criticize in areas they were criticized themselves. Pain gets repeated when it isn't healed. Now, that doesn't mean all family criticism is harmful. Sometimes feedback helps us grow. But criticism becomes damaging when it attacks identity instead of behavior. There's a difference between "you made a mistake" and "you are a mistake." One encourages growth, the other creates shame, and shame sticks deeply in the nervous system. That's why even years later, one sentence can still hurt. So what do you do with this? First, notice the voice. Ask yourself, is this truly my belief or something I repeatedly heard? Second, separate criticism from identity. Making mistakes doesn't make you worthless. Being emotional doesn't make you weak. Struggling doesn't make you a failure. And finally, try speaking to yourself the way safe, emotionally healthy people speak, with honesty, but also compassion. Because healing often begins when your inner voice stops sounding like your harshest critic and starts sounding like someone who actually wants you to grow.